I saved up my money. I was able to go and live in Italy and work where Michelangelo worked in Carrara, Pietrasanta, for a year, carving stone. And then came back and said, okay, I have to start now. And if I'm going to start, you know, and so 30 years ago, and I was 30 years old, I decided that this was the day I was going to start, and I did. My inspiration comes from, a lot of times, the stone. The stone, I go to the quarry and I bring back stones. It's like when you go to the beach and you bring back some shells, out of all the shells, and I look at them sometimes for years. I get them for the size or the shape or a vein that's running in it, or the color. And then one day I'll walk by and I'll see something that I want to do to it that'll start kind of a conversation with the piece. And so we'll do that. And then when I see it again, I see if that needed to be deeper or rounder. Then it might be a long time before I decide what the next step is. And then one day I'll walk up and I'll say, that looks great, and let's turn it upside down and drill a hole in it, and it's finished. When I was finishing college, I took my my first sculpture class, and I received a B in the class, and it's the first B I'd ever gotten in art, and I went like, oh my gosh, I better work harder at this. So I took the class again, and then realized the teacher had never given anybody an A, you know, so it was like ever. So I started experimenting with all the different types of sculpture, and I finally got to stone carving. And I tried limestone and marble, and then wanted to try granite. And I got my tools, and I put my goggles and my gloves and my hat and scarf, you know, and mask, and started working on this piece. And I was working on this piece for about 30 minutes till I couldn't even hold my arms up anymore. And I stopped, and the dust settled, and then I realized that there were 30 people around me that had been watching me the whole time, and I didn't know anybody was there. And that's when I realized that there was a connection between, and I tell people that, you know, I really chose it because it was the hardest thing I've ever done. Art just kind of was never a problem, you know, but the stone is a problem. And so I think I'm kind of like to be like a problem solver, actually. Yeah, this one. I do love it. And that's what happens with stone. So if you want to get past that mark, you know, but we create these by drilling holes in a huge block. And we tear it apart, and so this is the center part that's torn. So we cut in here all the way to here, and then we tear the block apart. And that's why, and you could do that 100 million times, it would never be the same, you know. And so that's what I look for, this gutsy, juicy, you know, part. Everyone here at the Goddard has been great. It's really a first-class operation. I think I'm very lucky to have been asked to show here. ¿Alguien tiene marcador? reason I do art is that I realized early on and felt that that I had a choice, and my choice after long contemplation over it was that I felt like that you can make a difference with art, and I really believe that you can make a difference in the world, connecting people, cultures, and I think that that's part of the problem, is that we don't travel enough, we don't see that people around the world are more like us than not. And so I really believe that art can make a difference.